Turn pain into power. Here's how pain isn't just something to survive, it's something to study. Every scar, every betrayal, every failure is a message. Most people try to escape it, numb it, or pretend it didn't happen. But pain doesn't go away, it waits, and if you don't face it, it controls you. But when you stop running and start listening, something changes. Pain becomes fuel, sharp, direct, pure energy. The truth is, comfort makes you soft, pain makes you real. That tightness in your chest after being rejected, that burning in your gut when you get overlooked, underestimated, or disrespected, that's your signal, not to break but to build. It's the raw material of greatness. Use it. Let it sharpen your focus. Let it strip away the lies you've been telling yourself. Let it wake you up. Most people let pain define them. Winners let pain refine them. There's a difference. One becomes bitter. The other becomes better. But that choice isn't automatic. It's not easy. It's not gentle. You have to want to change more than you want to feel sorry for yourself. You have to be willing to do the hard thing when no one's clapping. No comfort, no applause, just discipline. Start where it hurts, the betrayal, the failure, the loss. Don't bury it, break it down. Ask yourself, what did this pain teach me? What lie did it expose? What weakness did it reveal? That's where your next level lives. The lesson is in the wound, but only if you're strong enough to dig it out. And don't wait for the pain to go away. That's not power. Power comes when you move with the pain and build something out of it. Embrace the weight. Let it mold you. Real strength ain't loud, it's quiet. It's not the scream, it's the silence after. When the world thinks you're done, but you're still moving, still building, still showing up. That's power. Cold, focused, relentless. The kind that doesn't need validation because it comes from survival. Pain is not your enemy. It's your raw potential waiting to be forged into something unshakable. Every great man you admire, every leader, every fighter, every legend was born through pain. Not in comfort, not in luxury, but in pressure, isolation, and doubt. They didn't get handed strength, they built it, one scar at a time. And so can you, but only if you stop asking why me, and start asking what now, because that's the shift. Weak men ask for the pain to stop. Strong men ask what they're supposed to learn. Ruthless men, they take the pain and turn it into fire, into purpose, into fuel that never runs out. They don't chase pleasure, they chase power, internal power. The kind that doesn't break when life hits hard, the kind that grows in the dark. So let the world doubt you. Let them laugh. Let them think you're done, that's fine. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Your job isn't to convince them, it's to become, to disappear for a while. To rebuild, quietly, obsessively, with purpose. So, when you return, you don't speak, you show. Pain is the door. Most people run from it. You walk through it, and when you come out the other side, you'll be stronger, sharper, colder, and free. That's how you turn pain into power, not by avoiding it, by becoming something because of it, uncheckable, unstoppable, unapologetic. Now go build yourself, and when you build yourself, do it without permission, without waiting for someone to validate your progress. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to hand you peace, discipline, or identity. Those are forged, alone, in silence, in suffering, in moments where you want to quit, but don't. Understand this. Pain is the purest truth you'll ever feel. It strips away the ego. It reveals who you are without the mask, without the noise. That's why it's your advantage, because most people can't handle that kind of honesty. They numb it with distractions, scroll through it, drink through it, talk over it. But you face it, you use it, and once you do, the game changes. Suddenly, you don't chase motivation, you chase momentum. You don't need comfort, you build structure, systems, standards. You don't act when it feels right, you act because it's right. And in a world full of weak, reactionary men, that makes you dangerous. You stop being a victim of your story and start writing it. Chapter by chapter, rep by rep, early morning by late night, you stack wins in silence. You sharpen your mind like a blade. You train like there's no plan B, because there isn't. That's how you separate. That's how you dominate. Not once, but every day, quietly, relentlessly, and when life hits you again, and it will, you won't fold. You'll lean into it, smile at the pressure. Because you've been here before, you've bled here before, but now, you know how to turn it into fuel. That's power, that's discipline, that's what they'll never understand. So let them doubt you, let them sleep. You're not here to be understood. You're here to become undeniable. Now get up, get focused. And remember, the pain wasn't meant to break you. It was meant to build the man you were always meant to become. And when that man emerges, he won't be loud. He won't be flashy. He'll be calm, composed, focused, because real power doesn't need to announce itself. It walks in silence and leaves impact. It speaks through results. And that's exactly what you're rebuilding. A version of you that can be shaken, can't be manipulated, and can't be stopped. You see, most people are chasing attention, but you're chasing evolution. While they look for shortcuts, you build habits. While they wait for the right moment, you create it. And while they crumble under pressure, you perform in it. Because pressure isn't a threat to a man who is trained in the dark, it as a cue to rise. Let that be your edge, your ability to suffer with purpose, to endure with direction, to stay locked in when the world gets loud and chaotic. That's how kings are built, not in the spotlight, but in solitude. When it's just you, the grind, and the voice inside that says, "One more, don't stop. You're not done yet." And that voice, that fire, is what separates those who want it from those who need it. Because when you need it, quitting isn't an option, comfort isn't a reward. You become the kind of man who isn't satisfied with average, who sees through lies, who refuses to live small. That man, he's forged through pain, through repetition, through the discipline to keep going long after the motivation dies. So build him, not for them, not for applause. Build him for you, for the version of yourself that refuses to die quietly. Because when you finally become him, the world will have no choice but to notice. And by then, you won't even care. You'll already be onto the next mountain. Turn pain into power. Stay dangerous. Stay disciplined. And never, ever beg for a life you can build with your own hands. And as you keep building, remember this. Every step forward in silence is worth more than 100 loud declarations that go nowhere. You don't need to prove anything, you need to become something. Proof comes naturally when you're consistent. When your actions scream louder than your words ever could. That's when the shift happens. You stop needing the world to understand your vision. You become the vision, the embodiment of restraint, focus, intensity. The kind of man who doesn't seek revenge through emotion, but through execution, through transformation, through excellence. This is where you separate permanently, because now, it's not about avoiding failure, it's about making failure irrelevant. You don't fear setbacks, you expect them, you use them. You learn, adjust, and keep moving forward with precision. No panic, no excuses, just momentum. Ruthless, steady momentum. The world rewards the uncommon, the relentless, the dangerous. And what makes you dangerous isn't your anger, your size, or your voice, it's your clarity, your self-control, your refusal to be broken by anything life throws at you. That's what dark psychology is really about, not manipulation, not games, but understanding the world for what it is. Understanding yourself at a primal level, learning how people think, how they break, and how you can stay standing when everyone else folds. You don't rise by being liked, you rise by being disciplined. You don't become powerful by being comfortable. You become powerful by walking through hell and choosing not to come out the same. So don't fear the darkness. Don't hide from the storm. That storm is your proving ground. That pain, that's your signal to go harder, to dig deeper, to become more. Because the truth is simple. The life you want is locked behind the pain you re-avoiding. And the moment you face it fully, brutally, honestly, is the moment you begin to unlock the man you were always meant to be. Now get to work, and don't look back. And when you get to work, really get to work, something inside you begins to shift. The noise fades, the doubt weakens, the distractions lose their grip. Because now, you're not chasing motivation anymore. You're moving from a place far deeper, conviction. You've tasted your own limits, you've faced your darkness. And instead of running, you walked into it, owned it. That's when the old version of you starts to die. You stop seeking comfort, you start craving challenge. Every early morning, every cold shower, every hour alone grinding, these become your sanctuary. The pain becomes normal, and when pain becomes normal, quitting becomes impossible. Now you're dangerous not because you're emotionless, but because you've mastered your emotions. Not because you don't feel, but because you don't get controlled by what you feel. This is the edge that the average man will never touch. He'll spend his life chasing ease, applause, fake success. He'll avoid suffering, and with it, avoid growth. But you've learned that the most powerful weapon ain't rage, or talent, or even intelligence. It's resilience. It's doing the right thing when no one watches. It's stacking reps in silence. It's walking into every day like your destiny is waiting for you to earn it. And the beautiful part, the world won't see the years you spent in the dark, molding yourself. They'll only see the result. The clarity in your eyes, the way you move, the respect you command without saying a word. But you'll know the truth, it was all built in pain. And you wouldn't trade that path for anything. So keep going. Let the world doubt. Let the weak fall off. Let the noise keep shouting. You have no time for that now. You've made a vow to yourself, to the pain, to the man you're becoming. There's no going back, no comfort, no compromise. Only forward, only fire, only purpose. Stay sharp, stay cold, and let the pain keep forging your power. And as you continue forward, remember this: power built from pain can't be stolen. It's not borrowed, it's not inherited. It's earned in silence, in isolation, in the moments no one else can handle. That kind of power doesn't flash, it radiates, quiet, controlled, unshakable. You won't need to explain yourself anymore. People will feel it in how you walk, in how you speak, in how you don't react when provoked, because power isn't loud, it's restraint. It's knowing you could destroy, but choosing discipline instead. That's the man the world respects. That's the man they fear. That's the man who's untouchable, not because life didn't try to break him, but because it did and failed. Your scars become your armor, not something to hide, but something to sharpen. Let them remind you where you came from. Let them fuel your mission. Because now, it's not just about you, it's about everyone who ever doubted you, dismissed you, abandoned you. You don't need revenge. You don't need applause. You need results. Results that speak so loudly, the world has no choice but to shut up and watch. And that's exactly what you'll give them, not through rage, but through relentlessness. Through discipline so tight, so brutal, it breaks everything soft inside you and leaves only precision, focus, purpose. You'll stop asking how long it takes, and start saying as long as it takes. That's the mindset of a man reborn. A man who doesn't get deterred by setbacks, because he doesn't measure progress by ease, he measures it by resistance. The more it hurts, the more he knows he's close. So, when the pressure mounts, double down. When doubt creeps in, tighten the system. When it feels like it's too much, remind yourself why you started, because that pain you're feeling, that's not the end, that's the signal. That's the moment most people fold, and you're not most people. You are the result of every time you didn't quit. You are the proof that pain works. And you are the reason others will believe they can rise to if they willing to suffer for it. Keep walking. The fire's not done with you yet. And if the fire's not done with you, neither are you. Because now you understand. The pain wasn't a curse, it was your calling. It wasn't there to punish you, it was there to prepare you. For more, for better, for war, This world doesn't hand anything to men like you. If you want respect, you earn it. If you want peace, you build it. If you want strength, you suffer for it. And once you've paid that price, something in you hardens. Your tolerance for excuses dies. Your need for validation disappears. You don't flinch under pressure, you lean into it. Because you've realized something most people will never understand. The man who walks through hell willingly becomes untouchable. So don't get soft. Don't get distracted. The deeper you go, the more the world will try to pull you back. Stay cold. Stay calculated. Let them talk. Let them judge. While they sit on the sidelines criticizing, you're becoming a weapon, sharpened by discipline, forged in discomfort, guided by something more powerful than hype vision. A vision of who you're meant to become, not the version that plays it safe, not the version that settles, but the one who wakes up with purpose, who trains without applause, who operates in the dark so when he steps into the light, the world has no idea what hit it. That's the mission. Not likes, not trends, legacy. So, when the voice in your head whispers this is too hard, you answer back good, let it be hard. When your body says stop, you answer one more. When life pushes, you push harder. Because now, the pain isn't something you avoid, it's something you command. It doesn't break you, it builds you and that man you're becoming. He doesn't beg, he doesn't fold, he doesn't run. He rises every damn time. Now lock in. The world won't save you, but the man you're building, he will. And that man, the one you're building day by day, rep by rep, he's not chasing a fantasy. He's crafting reality, a reality forged through pain, pressure, and personal responsibility. Not the kind of responsibility the world applauds, but the kind that no one sees. The quiet, brutal discipline of showing up when you're tired, training when you're broken, staying focused when everything in you wants to quit. You see, that man doesn't need hype. He is the storm. While others post, preach, and pretend, he's in the trenches doing the real work. The kind of work that doesn't look pretty, doesn't get likes, but builds empires, mental, physical, spiritual. The kind of work that changes bloodlines. Because once you've walked through hell and refused to kneel, you carry something with you that no one can fake. Self-respect. That's what separates boys from men. Not money, not muscles. Standards. Ruthless standards that you refuse to lower no matter how lonely, how hard, how long it takes. And yes, it gets lonely. Growth always is. When you cut off the noise, the weak friends, the addictions, the soft habits, you're left with just you. And that's when the war begins. Not outside, but within. Every day is a battle between who you were and who you're becoming. And most lose that battle not because they re-incapable, but because they re-comfortable, but not you. You've chosen the hard road, the unforgiving road. And that road doesn't reward the average, it rewards the obsessed, the relentless. The men who are willing to look in the mirror and say, no one is coming. I am the answer. I am the threat. I am the standard now. So keep your head down. Keep your focus sharp. And remember, this world breaks the weak and praises the strong. But strength isn't found, it's built through sacrifice, through scars, through seasons of absolute silence and unbearable grind. And when that man finally steps out of the dark, when the world finally sees what you've become, they'll call it power, they'll call it luck, they'll call it talent. But you'll know the truth, it was pain, it was fire, it was discipline. And it was always you. So now the question isn't if you'll make it. The question is, how far are you willing to go? Because the man who builds himself through pain doesn't just want success, he wants transformation. He doesn't want to return to who he was, he wants to bury that version. Leave it behind. Burn the bridge and walk forward with nothing but purpose, scars, and a code no one can shake. That code, it's simple, but brutal. No excuses, no validation, no waiting. Every day is earned, every win is built, every weakness is hunted down and destroyed. Because when you stop tolerating your own mediocrity, everything changes. Not just your body, not just your money, but your presence. People feel it when you walk in the room. They don't know what it is, they just know they can't look away. That's not ego, that's not performance, that's real power, rooted in pain. Reinforced by discipline, weaponized through clarity. And clarity is rare. Most men wander, wishing. You move with intent, with a fire that doesn't burn out, it burns brighter the more it's tested. And that's why nothing can stop you, because you're no longer afraid of pain. You welcome it, you study it, you use it. So, when the world throws chaos, you stay composed. When life hits harder, you hit smarter. You no longer ask for the storm to pass, you become the storm. That's what happens when pain is no longer your prison, but your forge. You were never meant to be soft, you were meant to carry weight. To protect, to build, to dominate. But the path to becoming that man isn't easy. It's violent, internal, unseen, and it never ends. But if you still here, if you still breathing, then you have work to do. So stop hesitating, stop hoping, start executing. Because the world doesn't need another man addicted to comfort. It needs one forged in fire, silent, disciplined, relentless. Be that man, stay dangerous and turn every ounce of pain into unmatched power. And as you rise quietly, steadily, relentlessly, understand one thing: this path isn't supposed to feel safe. It's supposed to strip away everything that isn't real. The lies you told yourself, the false identities you clung to, the crutches, the addictions, the masks, they all fall when you're honest with the pain. And in their place, a man is born, not built from praise, but from pressure. Not shaped by comfort, but by chaos. That man, you won't beg for opportunity, you'll create it. You won't seek peace in the world, you'll carry peace within, because you've already been through the war inside. You've already died once, the old you. And now, every move you make, every breath you take, comes from a place of intention. Nothing is random anymore. Everything is chosen, ruthlessly. You train not just your body, but your will. You study not just the world, but yourself. You sharpen not just your mind, but your presence. And because of that, you move differently, you speak less, you observe more. You operate like a man who knows exactly what he is here to do and isn't waiting for permission to do it. And they'll notice, the ones who doubted, the ones who left, the ones who thought you'd fade, they'll see the man you've become. And they'll feel it before you say a word. But don't slow down for them. Don't gloat. Don't look back. Because legacy isn't built by proving people wrong, it's built by proving yourself right. Every single day, without the applause, without the comfort, without the crowd. This is what mastery looks like. Relentless commitment in a world obsessed with shortcuts. Stoic fire in a culture drowning in emotion. Purposeful suffering when everyone else seeks escape. So, if the pain comes again, and it will welcome it like an old friend. You know what it is now. You've seen what it creates. Let it keep sharpening you. Let it keep humbling you. Let it remind you that this life, this purpose, this becoming, it's not a phase. It's a calling. You're not here to survive. You're here to dominate. To outwork, outlast, outthink, to leave a legacy no man can erase. And it all starts and ends with one vow: never run from the fire. Become it, keep going. You're not finished yet, you're just getting started. And the deeper you go into the fire, the more you begin to realize this is exactly where you were meant to be. Not on the sidelines, not living soft, not surviving day to day in quiet frustration. You were made for the crucible, for the weight, for the pressure that forges men few will ever understand. Because while they're chasing ease, you're chasing edge. While they're numbing out, you're locking in. While they compromise, you commit. And that commitment, that's what makes you unstoppable. Not talent, not luck, choice, a decision, repeated daily, to embrace discomfort so completely that it no longer rattles you, it refines you. You wake up tired, good, do the work. You feel unmotivated, good, show up anyway. You're doubted, laughed at, underestimated, good, stay silent and build. Every time you push through when it would have been easier to quit, a piece of the weak you dies. And with it, a new layer of power is born, earned, not given. That's why most people will never carry what you carry. Because most people want transformation without sacrifice, power without pressure, mastery without pain. But you know better now. You know nothing real comes without fire. You know nothing lasting comes without discipline. You know nothing great is built when comfort is the goal. And that's why you keep going, not for clout, not for fame, not to prove anything to the world. You keep going for the man in the mirror, the one who refused to stay average, the one who buried his excuses and chose to rise. Every day you show up, you're casting a vote for the man you're becoming, and eventually, the world will have to accept what you've always known. You aren't born ordinary, you were born to forge yourself into something extraordinary. But you're not done, not even close. So rise again, harder, colder, smarter. Sharpen your mind, lock in your purpose. Walk through the chaos with your head high and your fists ready, not just to fight but to build. Because now, you don't fear the darkness. You are the darkness, with discipline for blood, with fire in your lungs and destiny in your hands. Keep going, no breaks, no doubts. No turning back, only forward, only war, only legacy. And as you march forward relentless, focused, forged, you begin to realize something profound. You no longer recognize the man you used to be. The one who hesitated, who waited for permission, who feared discomfort. That man is gone, buried beneath every early morning, every cold decision, every hour of grind when no one else was watching. Now, you walk like a man who's been through war, not just with the world, but with himself. And you didn't win by chance, you won by choice. Every day, you chose growth over comfort, discipline over distraction, purpose over pleasure, and that choice, that's what made you dangerous, not loud, not reckless, but calm, calculated, certain. And that certainty, it intimidates people. It exposes their indecision, their softness, their wasted potential. You don't even have to say a word, your presence reminds them of who they could be ... if they stopped running. But you're done running, you're done hiding. You're done pretending you were ever meant to live a quiet life. You were meant to build, to command, to lead. Not because someone handed you power, because you earned it. And because you suffered for it, you'll protect it with your life. You don't just respect the grind, you bleed for it. And when you bleed for something, you own it. The confidence becomes real, the power becomes permanent. Not because it's uncheckable, but because you've already been shaken, and you stood back up anyway. That's the man the world can't control. That's the man who doesn't fold under pressure, he rises in it. That's the man who walks into chaos and says, I was made for this, so don't let up. Not now, not ever. Your habits have become your armor. Your focus has become your freedom. Your pain has become your identity, not as a victim, but as a weapon. Because the man who survives pain with discipline is just hard to beat. He's impossible to break. And that's who you are now. Not perfect, not finished, but undeniable. So burn this into your mind. No one's coming. But that's okay, because you came for yourself. And that's all you'll ever need. Now rise and never stop becoming.